it were. So as you can see, in countries like Zimbabwe, this health strategy is also used to leverage negotiations with respect to minerals that they would probably want to use in terms of their defense industry and also IT industry.
So, Dr. Buta, the U.S. gains access to digital health data, to real-time disease outbreak surveillance, and to the pathogen samples under some 25-year agreements for some countries. How will African governments ensure that sharing health data for research does not lead to the exposure of citizens' private information and, in some cases, samples?
Though I think, this has been a long-standing issue of biological materials being used only for the purpose that you set. So to have these materials available for any kind of research, any kind of drug development, any kind of future use is clearly inappropriate. So I support the notion that we would, as a global entity, make those materials and those data sets and information available for collective action. But that is very much as part of a global agreement under the auspices of the World Health Organization, and to make sure that everybody has access and everybody can use that. That is never a direct bilateral agreement between one country and another country. So I think as part of that bilateral negotiation process, those safeguards, those guardrails around what biological human material can be used for is very important. And countries need to negotiate that to make sure that genetic material from certain populations or national populations don't become available to everybody willy-nilly to be used for commercial purposes and for short-term gains, and without providing any benefits to the countries themselves.
All right, we are going to take a short break. When we come back, we'll continue our discussion on the U.S. health deals and its implications for multilateralism. To stay with us. Welcome back to Talk Africa. Still with me are Dr. Zulfikar Buta, Tinashe Mundawarara and Alan Maleche. Let's continue our discussion on the U.S. health deal controversies. Dr. Buta, the U.S. has asked some partner countries to share biological specimens with epidemic potential within days of detection, with these specimen sharing commitments lasting up to some 25 years for some countries, yet there are no guaranteed reciprocal access to any resulting vaccines. How should countries assess the fairness of such long-term arrangements, particularly when the benefits are uncertain?
Well, as I mentioned, these are transactional arrangements and these are bilateral discussions. So countries need to stand on their feet and demand those kind of things, which are basic ethical principles in terms of biological material sharing, data sharing, and in between nation arrangements. So I think if people want to reduce global health to a trade compact, then do it like traders. Then countries need to stand their ground and negotiate this to the extent that, first of all, as I said, that you use only materials for specific purposes and that they are not provided willy-nilly for things that go beyond the mandate of that initial arrangement. And secondly, also, importantly, that the benefits of some of that research would be shared by the people who are contributing that material. That's a very fundamental principle of international ethics in research collaboration and development. And particularly one is concerned when there are commercial applications with the private sector out there who's been itching to get their hands on genetic data and materials from low and middle income countries, because it then allows them to do all kinds of things without ever having to do those trials in those countries or in those geographies. So I think this is extremely important for governments to consider on a scientific basis and negotiate this, and hence the importance of protecting some of those agreements under the pandemic treaty that the World Health Organization and member states have been working on for the last several years post-pandemic. So now that you have all the guardrails off and this reducing to a bilateral agreement,
right,
those things will have to be done bilaterally.
Tinashe, you know, the deals require countries to dramatically increase their own health budgets, while the U.S. support drops by an average 40%. Alan has mentioned this. Many African countries are already struggling to meet the Abuja declaration target of 15% health spend. Are these expectations for increased domestic health spending by African countries realistic?
Definitely not realistic. There are always, you know, competing interests and demands from the fiscus. And if you look at it, for example, some of these demands are unrealistic, and the U.S. government itself, in their strategy, is informed that the government that signs the MOU has to meet certain metrics in terms of the monitoring and evaluation. And when they don't meet those metrics, then the U.S. will have to evaluate the agreement or the MOU as it were. And I do see it as, you know, fiscal interference, where the U.S. would like to, you know, have to dictate some of the priorities that African governments have to embrace in terms of their fiscus. So I do not see any fairness in this, and also African governments being able to measure up to that, you know, expectation, as it were. So I would say that there is no capacity without making other sectors of the economy suffer to meet this demand.
Right. Your perspective, Alan, what is the capacity for African government to meet that 40% decrease gap by the U.S.? And will this lead to collapse of essential services like HIV, TB, and malaria?
I think the one positive thing in the agreement is that it has a very clear expectation of the Kenyan government, at least for the agreement I've seen, and others, around how much they are putting on the table in terms of commitment. And for me, that's a big plus, because then as civil society and as people who hold governments accountable, we want them to say, can you show us where you're getting the money and how you're putting money on the table? So from one part, it has helped us have some more transparency around what are the exact commitments by the government and what are the timelines they've signed on to, which is helpful. But on the downside of it, we know the challenges we have with leakage, wastage, and corruption, and also the low allocation of money to the health sector. Kenya has never met the Abuja target, and the Abuja target has already been overtaken by events, because 15% of our budget now may not even be enough for the current citizens of Kenya to address their health issues. And so I feel if the government are truly committed towards increasing the health budget by 40%, the way it has been stated in the agreement, they must see how they deal with leakage, wastage, and corruption, which has been a big issue in the health sector, and helping us to be able to achieve the targets to have enough money to realize the right to health for all the citizens.
Right. So, Dr. Butcher, let's look at that negating some of these agreements, because the U.S. says it needs near real-time access to African health data to protect what it calls global health security, yet it has withdrawn from the World Health Organization. Does the America First health strategy weaken multilateral institutions like WHO, and what are the implications for coordinated responses?
Well, fragmentation. Absolutely, it weakens. I mean, you know, it doesn't help anybody for the U.S. to walk away from the World Health Organization, as many of us have maintained. And most of all, it actually puts the U.S. at risk. So I think some of these decisions that are being made are really not being made on the basis of what is best for the world at large. It is not even in the U.S. interest. If people think that this is somehow or the other going to protect the United States from potential global threats, health threats, this is not going to do that either. So you know, really speaking, I think we are dealing with a situation where we really ought to be looking at an international consensus, not just Africa standing on its own, but also what needs to be done by countries in Europe, what needs to be done by countries in Asia, in terms of affecting arrangements of bilateral assistance that do not have these conditionalities imposed upon them.
Right. So, Alan, you know, Africa is providing its health data. What are the commitments from the U.S. side?
So the commitments from the U.S. side are threefold. One, they are promising or agreeing to put money on the table, money to hire healthcare workers, money to buy commodities, money to help build surveillance systems, and also money for building infrastructure. So at the end of the day, they are providing a lot of money, but they are also making it conditional and progressive to say, if in 2027 they provide X amount of money, in 2028 they expect the government of Kenya or other governments who they have signed the agreements with to increase the amount of money, and eventually at the end of the bilateral agreement, they want to see that the government has taken up ownership. So in one way, they're saying, yes, we'll put in money, we'll build the infrastructure, we'll help you buy commodities, but over a period of time, every year, we want to see you increasing and taking more responsibility in terms of your health data, in terms of your treatment of people who are living with HIV, and providing other related services to tuberculosis and malaria.
Right, and that is the key question as we wind down the program. Tinashe, what will be in this for the Common Africa? Will the strategy widen inequalities in access to vaccines, medicines, and technologies, especially during a global crisis? And what measures do you think African countries should insist on to safeguard their national interests?
Yes, your question does touch the core of the critical regional question. By regional question, I think the question for Africa is about what is the future end game of this American First strategy. No one knows, but America itself knows what they are going to, why they are doing this now, and what future health strategies in terms of the African countries, how they are going to be shaped around the American interest. Remember, the strategy shapes everything around the American interest. And this shows you that for the average African, their interests do not appear anywhere in the picture, as this strategy seeks to make America safer and prosperous. So it is clear on that, and the US government is not hidden this from anyone. It's in black and white, and the value to the average African is yet to be, seen in terms of what the end game is. Even African governments, I'm not sure if any of the African governments that have signed this MOU understand and know what the end game is for America in terms of what they want to do on the African soil.
Right, and finally, Dr. Buta, will this strategy, though, widen inequalities in access to vaccines, medicines, and technologies, especially during global crisis, and particularly in the long run? And what measures do you think African countries should insist on to safeguard national interests?
I mean, potentially, yes. I mean, I don't want to judge what may happen in the future, but certainly any bilateral agreement is not the same as multilateral agreements. And it's not the same as agreements that come with global compact and global understanding. So, really speaking, this is where the African Union needs to stand together. This is where not just the African Union, but the organizations of African scientists need to stand together to speak with one voice. And importantly, this needs to be part of every bilateral discussion or arrangement that's being made in Africa with donors and United States, in terms of saying this is our bottom line and this is what all African nations want. And by default, this should also be something that all countries in South Asia, for example, where there's also a lot of global health concern in Southeast Asia, they ought to be doing the same. So I think if more than one country stands up and is counted, then it will make a difference.
Right. Alan?
What is important is for African governments to be able to ensure the agreements they enter into respect the national constitutions, the national laws of the country, and where data is going to move from one continent to another, they must ensure that they are safeguarded so that we don't reach a point where data has moved, people want to access it and they can't access it because it's across the border. So the bottom line is that we can't avoid the agreements, but the agreements must respect the national laws, they must respect the national constitutions, and they must respect the will of the people, and they must be signed and agreed upon for the betterment of people, which requires whichever government official is signing it to ensure that whatever money comes into the Kenyan basket, it must be actually used for that purpose and improving the healthcare system. So transparency, accountability remains very key on how these agreements are taken forward.
All right, gentlemen, thank you very much indeed for your insights. But that's all we have time for on this edition of Talk Africa. A big thank you to my guests, Dr. Zulfika Buta, Founding Director of the Institute for Global Health and Development at the Aga Khan University, Tinashe Mundawarara, Advocate at the Health and Policy Consortium, and Alan Maleche, Executive Director, the Kenya Legal and Ethical Issues Network on HIV and AIDS. Remember, you can be a part of this conversation online through our social media handles on Facebook and X. You can also catch the show on our YouTube playlist. Do keep this conversation going and join us again next week for more Talk Africa. From me, Beatrice Marshall, and the team here in Nairobi, until next time, it's goodbye.
Of the 80s until his death in 2018. This single was part of the Under Pressure album and made headlines for many years.
Some play reggae, some play California, some play reggae, some play disco. Better now this one is a rumba style, yeah, rumba style. This a one a rumba.
Nigeria's Lady of Song, Stem Blend, Mike Okri creates lyrics that are poetic, rich, and for his fans, healing. He calls his style Afro Mystic Soul.
Time na money, time na money, time na money. Make use your time well. No waka waka, no gossip gossip.
This is the network service of the NTA.
Today we are talking about family, blended families, family dynamics we rarely talk about.
Absolutely. Sule, families are no longer defined by just one structure. Situations sometimes create homes and love that can be complicated.
Where step-parents, step-siblings, half-siblings come together to make a family unit.
Exactly. Again, I would say, Sule, blended families face a whole lot of challenges, but they also have an incredible opportunity to grow stronger together. I am Patience Eloyaba, and this remains your favorite weekend show on TV.
And on Weekend Deal today, of course, we are going to have a thriving blended family join us on the set, but that's not to say that some, are having it smooth, some may be struggling, but on the show today, we have the opportunity to learn together as we dive deeper. My name is Suleiman Babajia Usman, but now let's cross over to the new studio where Tessie Omeri is standing by. Good morning, Tessie.
Hello, Suleiman. Good morning. Hello, Patience. Good to see you. Hello, Nigerians, and here is the morning news. We begin on education notes. JAMB has released the results of candidates who sat for the 2026 UTME on Thursday, April 16th, with two candidates, one parent arrested for allegedly engaging in result falsification using artificial intelligence. Meanwhile, JAMB Registrar Professor Ishak Oloyede has uploaded the smooth conduct of the ongoing UTME nationwide as he monitors the exercise at some CBT centers at the University of Ibadan. Kainde Omolosho completes the report.
Candidates at the University of Ibadan Computer-Based Test Center turned out early for the Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination, underscoring the growing need for strict compliance with accreditation procedures and examination guidelines to ensure a credible process. During the monitoring exercise, the registrar, Professor Ishak Oloyede, paid close attention to critical stages such as candidate accreditation, biometric verification, and system functionality, measures designed to curb impersonation and minimize technical failures that have challenged previous examinations.
At the end of the day today, we will have examined 1,700,000 in 3 days.
He further revealed that results from the first 2 days of the examination have been released, highlighting ongoing efforts by the board to improve efficiency, transparency, and timely access to candidates' performance.
My mandate is to, with my colleagues, to make sure that we deliver on what was assignment given to JAM, and we'll continue to do that as efficiently as we can.
Everyone is cooperating to ensure that the exams go smoothly, and so we don't have any issues conducting the exams.
Meanwhile, authorities at the University of Ibadan emphasized the urgent need to expand the number of computer-based test centers within the institution, pointing to increasing candidate turnout and the broader issue of limited examination infrastructure across the country. Kainde Omolosho, NTA News.
A strategic retreat for efficient service delivery and strengthened synergy between the Ministry of Regional Development and the 6 regional development commissions in Nigeria has been held in Benin. Obehi Otobo reports that a communique from the 3-day event unveiled a framework for harmonization of project planning and implementation.
A balanced regional development is a critical pillar in the renewed hope vision of President Tinubu. Mandated to push this vision to fruition, the Minister of Regional Development is engaging key players. The participants are encouraged to be inspired by the vibrant, resilient, and culturally rich communities within the regions and come up with ideas to properly harness these untapped potentials to drive sustainable, inclusive, and complementary development.
This bold initiative is not anchored in geopolitical considerations, but on a strategic commitment to geospatial development, recognizing the need for a multi-sectoral, area-based, and spatially targeted approach to serve as a catalyst to regional economic and social transformation.
6 commissions regionally, and we have ministries supervising us. So it's all very good to have this kind of gathering to understand ourselves and know the focus and follow how we are going to achieve a different manner in the region.
Representatives of the Edo State Governor and the legislature promised proper crafting of the relevant laws and implementation to support policies emanated from the engagement.
We therefore welcome fresh ideas because our experiences shows the sub-region successes requires federal government enablement.
This retreat must go beyond routine deliberation. The central focus must remain on the welfare of ordinary citizens.
Resource persons clarified inquisition on issues bordering on principles of corporate governance, code of conduct, tax reforms, and leveraging on international development partners. High points of the event were the presentation of the draft national policy on regional development and the communique, which, amongst other points, stressed the need for the ministry to strengthen peer review mechanisms for development commissions to learn from one another in order to improve performance. In Benin, Obehi Otobo, NTA News.
And on agricultural production, sensitizing farmers on modern biotechnological techniques is key to achieving food security in the country. That was the consensual view of stakeholders in Kefi during a one-day farmers and media engagement on agricultural biotechnology in Nigeria, organized by the Institute for Agricultural Research, Zaria. Blessing Danfulani has more.
The forum brought together farmers across north-central states of the country who were sensitized on modern biotechnological techniques in food production, such as use of genetically modified organisms with emphasis on telomerase, PBR cowpea and BT cotton to boost production at a lesser cost for economic benefits. Coordinator of the forum, Dr. Mohammed Yahya, says the aim is to disabuse the minds of the public on genetically modified crops and educate farmers on optimal production.
We are trying to engage farmers and create awareness on the biotechnology crops that are already prevalent in the country.
Vice Chancellor, Nasarawa State University, CAFI, Professor Saadatu Hassan Liman, represented, as well as other facilitators, say equipping farmers with improved inputs will not only yield bumper harvest, but will as well place Nigeria as a bigger player in non-oil revenue generation through export of agricultural produce.
Awareness is created on genetically modified crops, the advantages, the benefits of such crops, so that there will be increase in the use.
Now we have about 3 different crops that were genetically modified and released by the Institute.
Farmers describe the forum as impactful.
I've also learned about the improved variety that we need to plant so that we have a robust yield.
Since we have this knowledge, we will be able to correct things in the farm.
With forums such as these ahead of the farming season, there are signs that farmers in the North Central Zone will smile home with bumper harvest. Blessing Mfulani, NTA News.
To reduce death and prevent aspirations from being cut short by substance abuse, key actors in the fight against drug abuse emphasize that addiction should not be a family secret, but recognized as a medical and social crisis that demands bold and decisive action. Elizabeth Omori, who was at a forum on reclaiming the narrative of hope, reports.
An estimated 360 million people worldwide use drugs, with abuse and trafficking posing serious threats to public health and security. World Drug Report 2025 by UNODC reveals that the global drug problem is intensifying, marked by unprecedented levels of production, trafficking, and consumption. One of such efforts to reduce the menace is this gathering of experts, youths, and parents with different tales. Dr. Adekunle Adeshino is an advocate. He speaks on recovery and breaking the silence in homes.
We have about 3 million that needs treatment and rehabilitation, and all the rehabilitation centers we have in Nigeria, we don't, as at the last check, we don't have up to 10,000 bed spaces. So treatment is grossly inadequate, and that is why prevention in this case is better, is cheaper.
The role of the family is to give support and comfort to the individual that is afflicted, and that begins with having a listening ear.
Other concerned players note that identifying triggers early will help promote family stability to prevent relapse and reduce the prevalence of addiction.
When you take substance, it doesn't go to any part of your body. It goes to the limbic system to activate that place. We should encourage them for all their follow-up visits.
Don't attempt to even experiment. Don't attempt to even start it.
Lack of parental guidance, peer pressure, and low self-esteem were highlighted as factors promoting drug abuse. Elizabeth Omori, NTA News.
Former President Goodluck Jonathan has called on leaders to promote national awareness. These initiatives that will meaningfully contribute to Nigeria's democratic and diplomatic engagements in line with the vision of the country's founding fathers. The former president made the call while speaking at the 2025 or 2026 Association of Retired Career Ambassadors of Nigeria, ACAN, held in Abuja. Garba Muhammad Nata'ala has more.
Owing to the recognition of 3 African leaders who contributed to founding ECOWAS, now 51 years old, former head of state General Yakubu Gowon, Togolese late president Nasimbe Yadima, and Professor Adebayo Adedeji of United Nations Economic Commission, Dr. Goodluck Jonathan used the podium to issue a challenge to Nigeria's current and emerging leaders, saying they must be an example at home.
I strongly believe that you cannot develop economically with very, very unstable political systems. So the heads of states in ECOWAS must continue to work together and agree on concrete terms and make sure that the sub-region is politically stable.
On behalf of all of us, the awardees today, yes, thank you for the honor you've done to us, and thank you for the honor you've also done to those in the past that are still that are not here.
The event formed part of Akan's award ceremony simultaneously held in Abuja and Lagos. Created 6 years ago, the association continuously honors several retired diplomats who spent their careers defending Nigeria's image abroad throughout their foreign service years.
Their vision remains us that Africa's strength lies in cooperation, and that leadership, when guided by foresight, can outlive generations.
The recipients also appreciated the gesture by Akan and promised to continue advancing Nigeria's foreign policy and diplomatic efforts when duty calls. In Abuja, Garob Muhammad Atala, NTA News.
And that's the AM News. I now hand you over to the safe hands of Patience and Suleiman for a beautiful Sunday morning. After this break, do stay with us.
Shield your families from germs. When Dettol is a part of every household bucket, then you and your family can stay protected from up to 100 illness-causing germs.
Everyday use of Dettol keeps my loved ones protected.
TerraCube, unwrap joy, unleash taste.
The Financial Services Regulation Coordinating Committee, FSRCC, in collaboration with the National Broadcasting Commission, NBC, wishes to draw the attention of the public to the worrisome increase in the activities of illegal financial operators, IFOs, which threaten public trust and the stability of the Nigerian financial system. The FSRCC and NBC hereby advises the general public to refrain from dealing with unlicensed financial operators who deceive individuals with unrealistically high investment returns. Make sure to verify the licensing status of such companies and schemes on this website. To report any suspicions of illicit financial activities, call CBN 0817-665-7060, SEC 0209-462-1168, 0916-772-3240. Let's work together to uphold the integrity of Nigeria's financial system. Announcer, FSRCC.
The prestigious NTA Television College, widely recognized for its professionalism and excellence in media training, has achieved another significant milestone. In addition to its existing affiliation with Ahmadu Bello University Zaria for the award of a degree in mass communication, the college has now received official approval from the National Board for Technical Education, NBTE, to commence National Diploma, ND programs in mass communication and multimedia. Additional programs are also in progress. Admission requirements: a minimum of 5 O-level credit passes in relevant subjects. For National Diploma ND programs, minimum JAMB admissible score of 100. For degree programs, recommended JAMB score of 180 and above. This is a great opportunity to become part of the college's growing legacy in media and broadcast education. For more information,
visit our website at www.ntatvc.edu.ng or call these following numbers: 0803-838-4343, 0806-980-9897. Announcer Management.
The Nigerian Institute of Public Relations, NIPR, in collaboration with the Kaduna State Government, invites you to the Nigeria Public Relations Week. Theme: Food Security, from policy paper to public place, the imperatives of public relations. Tuesday 21st to Friday 24th April 2026. Venues: New Banquet Hall, Sir Kashim Ibrahim House, and Musa Iridua Center, Murtala Square, Kaduna, 10 a.m. daily. Guest of honor: Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, Senator Abubakar Kyari, CON, Minister of Information and National Orientation, Alhaji Muhammad Muhammad Idris, FNIPR. Minister of Livestock Development, Alhaji Idi Mukhtar Meha. Keynote speaker, Dr. Brilin Chitsunge, Pan-African Parliament Ambassador for Food Security, South Africa. Chief host, His Excellency, Senator Obasani, CON, Executive Governor of Kaduna State. Host, Dr. Ikene Liaku, President NIPR. Chairman, 2026 NPRW. Chief Yomi Badijo Kusoya. Contact Ahmed Miyaki, Commissioner for Information, Kaduna State. Stalio Gadigo, Director of Public Relations, Announcer.
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, it is your favorite weekend show, Weekend Deal. It is a show where conversations inspire transformations. Today is no different because our focus is on blended families, aka step families. That's what some people call it. Now, blended families occur as a result of so many situations. It could be a loss of a spouse, a divorce, single parenthood, and so many other reasons. But one thing is sure, a blended family is a chance to live, love, and create stronger families once again. Our competition starter today is from NTA Yenagoa, and they call it The Second Chance. Let's see this.
She was ill and hospitalized, and eventually she passed on. As a pastor, I tried to preach to myself. I discovered that I couldn't preach to myself. I was depressed. It got to a level that was as if I should die. I wasn't interested in doing anything. Even preaching became a problem.
My own happened very early. When I was still young, far younger than as I am. So the only way out is to make up my mind, to remarry, so that the pain can go off me.
The story of widows and widowers who have known loss walk through the silence of empty spaces, yet somehow found the courage to love again.
You were with somebody in the house. Suddenly, that person disappeared because of death. That comfort will not be there again. The warmness will not be there again. Coming back together, laughing together, was cut off. Because of that, instead of me to die infantly, then be put like that, I have to feel courage to remarry.
Temptations are there. Women will send message. God said, I'm your wife. Very serious, messages, call, church members advise I need to marry. And I felt, I discussed with my children and they say, okay, there's no problem about it. That is my own life. So basically, I needed to concentrate on the work. And I think that is the major motivation that made me to really want to marry. And also, I'm still very young, and I saw somebody there have married again. I found love again.
New memories are created, and hearts once heavy begin to feel light.
I didn't have any fear working towards my marriage because I had not been married before. And all I knew was God's word. So I didn't have any reason to fear.
We didn't have any problem accepting her because right from time we've been an open family and a loving family. So my brothers and I, we love people so much. So when she came in, we accepted her immediately.
She's nice, she's good to us. Even our children, they are very good and nice. Like, if you see us play together, talking together, you will know that we're from different parents or mothers and everything.
A successfully blended family is built through communication, mutual respect, patience, and the ultimate word, love.
He lost a spouse. He was alone with his kids. I too, similar experience, so we were like consoling each other.
He is our creator, and he knew what was good for me. Yes, the other bone was gone, and he made me as the manufacturer. So he created another bone, and so she brought the bone. So it wasn't difficult to blend.
This is not just a story about marriage, but a story of courage. Families starting all over again.
You lost a spouse. There is a lot of discrimination. I'm talking with experience. People discriminate you. Sometimes they call you all sort of names.
I'm aware of the trauma. I've lost very dear ones, loved ones. I know what death and is. So living as a wonderful family. Like I want to say here, emphatically, I think the marriage is strictly because of the vision, because of God's work. Because since I came on board, it's been God's work, it's been the vision and the children. So everybody is about the assignment.
Some hearts, however, remained closed, not out of pride, but out of pain.
I was married to Mr. Fresh Azugiri. The year 2000, I lost him. I decided not to marry. My children can say, you are giving more attention to your husband. You are no more taking care of us. So to avoid that, I decided to be alone.
At the time my father passed, my mom was in her late 30s. I know she probably had suitors coming to her, but she decided to focus on her family. What we are today is the benefit of our decision.
Love is not a one-time event. It is a capacity that still lives, even after loss.
Well, beautiful stories and quite inspiring when you listen to some of them. And it just, it shows one thing. Life doesn't always follow one path. It has its own dynamics. And sometimes you need to have that courage to love again and move on with your life. And that's why we have blended families in our existence today. And we have a blended family who just joined us on set. And you need to see them when they were coming into the studio. They were holding hands, and even after they sat down, they almost like sat very, very close together, which is actually not good for our camera. So we had to tell them, move to the other side. But that shows you how, closely knit they are. And these are the things that we love to see. Ladies and gentlemen, make welcome to Mr. and Mrs. Chuang. You're welcome to our studios.
You.
Well, let's see their profile, and after that, the show continues.
I was talking in between. Like, this is beautiful. I mean, seeing the family together. You're welcome to Weekend Deal.
Thank you.
Welcome
Thank
to
you for having
Deal.
us.
Yes, it's so good to have you. So you're part of our family, right? The NTA family.
Yes.
You know, right? And as the show goes on, we'll tell them why I said you're part of our family. So tell me your experience. We'll start with your individual experiences. What led you to the second chance? What situation led you to the second chance?
4 years after the demise of my wife.
Oh, your wife died?
Yes, my wife died. And I was in the shell, kind of. So I have to move on. I have to move on and see, because it's not good for a man to be alone.
True.
So as I was thinking, I got this inspiration. Why go for the singles? All right? Why go for the singles? The widows, who marries them?
Oh my goodness.
All right, so when I got that inspiration, got that message, all eyes turned on this beautiful lady.
How did you find out? Where did you see her? How did you know she was the one? I like love stories if you watch the show, so tell us your love story. How did you find her?
Well, it will interest you to know that we are in the same church. And we perform same fellowship, we're in the same ministry. And that ministry is a jungle ministry. We work together. But all this while we've been together, I've never thought of anything or been getting close to her until when I met her on mine. And other people have been saying, how far now, how far? But I was so resentful when it comes to marriage because of my experience. So when I finally opened up, as I've told you, all eyes on her. So I started, and gradually we are moving together.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Quite interesting. And I'm just curious as well. You know, after losing your partner, and at what point did you realize that you need to move on? What made you open your mind, open your heart to love again? Because some say it's quite very difficult.
Of course.
What's your story?
Actually, it is very difficult because when you lose your partner, at that moment you feel everything is gone. You feel you have lost it all. But gradually, God comforted me in a way because I didn't leave his side a minute. I was always with God. I was always searching the word, reading the word. And then at a point when I came across 1 Corinthians chapter 7 verse 8 to 9, which encourages, it tells people if you can live alone, fine. As a single, if you're a widow and you know you can stay alone, fine, you can. But then he encouraged widows and the single to marry so that they will not fall into sin. I am somebody who loves the Lord. I do not want to sin. At the point when I kept reading those words and I said, Lord, because already I was about 28 when I lost my husband. I was a little young, burning with passion, and then a lot of people were around me. Everybody will come, even people you least expect, they will tell you they love you. They were there, they want to take advantage of me. At the point I said no. After reading the Bible and then all the scenario surrounding me. Because everybody that comes, I tell my husband, I was very close with my children. I'll call them, I'll tell them this is what is happening. We will laugh. Because at that moment, they were my friends, risk them for anything. And lo and behold, God brought him forth. Already he knew the Lord. And at a point, even though people kept seeing it, people will tell me, even before we met, I didn't even know him that much. But people will tell me, God has given me a husband in the church, and I will say, who? There's somebody who sees. And she will tell me, I will say, who? The Lord has not told her yet. And with time he came. And when she came and confirmed it, I said, wow. And I give God glory. And that was the beginning of our journey.
Amazing story. I can listen forever.
Patience, something tells me that today's show is going to be like an emotional,
It's already going there. It's already going there from right from the beginning.
And trust me, even the way they are dressed, something can just tell you that these people are living.
They are blended. They are really blended. I mean, not just,
Yeah.
Okay, so, sir, when you were also going to get married and you made up your mind for somebody who's not a widow or somebody who is divorced, for example, were you thinking about the children aspect? The person going to come in with kids. Were you ready to love the kids? Were you ready to accept children that were not biologically yours? How did you prepare yourself for that process?
Well, I'm somebody who loves children. Generally, I love children. And you see, when I look at her, the children and other things around her, and I see it that when I'm alone, who take care of me? Who? God, right? If God can take care of me, he can take care of everything.
True.
So 2 children, 3 children, it's not a problem as long as God is in it. After all, my desire is to have as many children as possible. I came from a family of 11, one mom. So we know how we live together. Who took care of us? Is it my father's ability or his wisdom or anything? But just place everything on the table for God. God, here I am. I'm working according to your will, and just take charge.
Okay, what we hear in Nigeria, before you go for me, what we hear in Nigeria says, wicked stepmother. How did you prepare yourself to be a stepmother to his own child?
Okay, I want to talk partly about what he just said now. When we are on, what even convinced me to marry him was when he accepted my children. Because at a point, people kept telling him, you have only one child. Why not go for somebody who doesn't have a child or who has only one? Why go for someone who has 3 kids?
3 children.
And do you know what he told me? When I heard it and I confronted him, because already, truly speaking, I told him I have 3 children. And I would not want to play with them. So I wouldn't want to go into a marriage that tomorrow these children will not be secured. And he told me what he mentioned was that is what even took me off myself. That he had been in love with my children before he came to me.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Truly speaking, and that is what made me went for him. And I love him today. I want to say
it it's happening here.
That I thank you so much and I love you so much. If I had not said it enough, I am saying it to the whole world. That thank you so much for being there and for being a good husband.
Thank you,
love you so much.
Oh my goodness, am I shedding tears? I'm going to cry.
I told you that today's show is going to be something else, and trust me, I am loving every bit of it. Now, this is your experience, and I know a lot of people have, their shared experiences. It could not be as rosy as yours, but certainly when 2 families come together, especially in a blended, circumstances, children are always, and I mean, something that needs attention.
Seriously.
Because for them, they have to also find their own spaces in that new reality. So let's take this story on children in the mix when we talk about blended families.
I met him with the children without any help. No nanny, nobody. So I was wondering, why will you carry these children in your house? So what I did is, before the wedding, some weekends I allowed them to come together, stay together, to know each other. Initially, I had issue with one that didn't want to accept me. She will say, oh, you are not my mother. But today, it's no longer the same.
Blending families is not just about the parents. It is about the children too. When 2 homes become one, it feels exciting, but also confusing. New faces, new rules, and sometimes new expectations. How do children adjust?
But when both families are blended, you have to give room for flexibility. Give them time to absorb the new ethics of this new home. Give them time to even adapt to the new person.
Children in blended families often go through different emotions: fear, jealousy, confusion, and sometimes anger. These feelings are normal. But what matters most is how families support them through the transition.
Talking therapy is very important. You have to seek counseling from a psychologist, from a family or child psychologist, so that the children can be able to go through the session of counseling so that they can prepare themselves for proper transitioning into that blended family, which will also lead to them accepting the new parents. Another aspect is, in the blended family, as a parent, try as much as you can to treat everyone equally.
Parents should listen to their children, validate their feelings, and avoid forcing relationships. Bonding takes time, and every child adjusts differently.
We do things together. You will not know. The only thing that will differentiate our children is when you look at the face very well, you will know a lot about that. Daddy, mommy, we don't have an issue with the children. The children came together. Apart from our biological children, I had some children who were not my biological before I got married. My husband blended today. He behaved like a father to all my children. He stand with my children. He protect my children. He guide my children. I am happy because my children have a father figure, and the children also blend with me as a mother. They also have a mother figure in me.
I was able to carry them along. I sat them down even without their mother's presence. Say, now listen, this and that and that.
There are instances
you accept us to be together? Some of them will say yes. All of them together, they now say, we don't have any other father. You are our father. We do things together. Whatever problem they have, they bring it to my front. I'll solve it for them. And that is how we have been going together. With the support of their mother here too.
Acceptance of the new parents, acceptance of the other new sibling that they now have to call them sibling, or they now have to live in the same house.
Simple moments, shared meals, laughter, and understanding can help build strong bonds in blended families. At the end of the day, children reminds us of something very important. Family is not just about who we are born to. It is about who stands by you, who laughs with you, and who loves you. Blending families may come with challenges, but with patience, trust, and care, step siblings can become friends and home can become whole again.
The dawn is breaking, it's still in the morning. Tide is waiting, it's blowing us on. Already I'm so lonely, so late I could die. Baby, kiss me and smile for me. Tell me that you wait for me. Hold me like you never let me go. I'm leaving on the jet plane. I don't know when I'll be back again. Oh baby, I hate to let you go. I'm leaving on the jet plane. I don't know when I'll be back again. Oh baby, I hate to let you go. And all those times I mess around, for all those times I play around, I promise you baby, they don't mean no thing. Cause everywhere I go, I think of you. Every song I sing for you. And when me come up, let me get you your wedding ring. Baby, kiss me and smile for me. Tell me that you wait for me. Hold me like you never let me go. Oh, I'm leaving on the jet plane. I don't know when I'll be back again. Oh, baby, I hate to let you go. My love, I'm leaving on the jet plane. I don't know when I'll be back again. Oh, baby, I hate to let you go. Oh, my baby. Oh. Yeah, yeah, oh. On to the next one. One time. Oh, babe, I love you so. Yeah, and I want you to know that I'm gonna miss your love. The minute you walk out the door, please don't go, don't go away, baby, please don't go, don't go, I'm begging you to stay. If you leave, at least in my lifetime, yeah, I have one dream come true. I was so blessed to be loved, yeah, by someone as wonderful as you go. Please don't go, don't go away, baby, please don't go. Don't go, begging you to stay. Yeah, oh my girl. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, I so, babe, I love you so. Yeah, and I want you to know that I'm gonna miss your love, oh baby, the minute you walk out the door. Darling, please don't go, don't go, Don't go away, darling, please and go. Don't go, yeah, begging you to stay. If you leave, at least in my lifetime, yeah, I had one dream come true. I'm so blessed to be loved by someone as wonderful as you go. Please don't go. Don't go. Don't go away, darling, please don't go. Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, if you leave, at least in my lifetime, I had one dream come true. I'm so blessed to be loved by someone as wonderful as you. Girl, please don't go. Don't go. Don't go away, darling, please don't go. Don't go. Want you to stay.
Hey, and don't live on a jet, please. Sit on that seat, put your remote away and watch the show. That's why we are here every weekend. We love you so much. Thank you so much, Darlington, aka TJ, for that beautiful redemption. We enjoyed it so much. Now, welcome back. Joining the conversation is a sister and a friend to the show. She is Eunice Chinedumwigwe. She's always been here. She's been here a couple of times, and each time she comes in, oh my goodness, she gives us a master class. She's a child psychologist, a teen mentor, and a mental health advocate. Let's see her profile. Welcome to Weekend D.
Thank you so much.
So good to see you.
Thank you so
much. Like I said, you just keep looking younger. You are aging backwards. What's that? Waiting happen. Only you.
All right, Eunice. It's good to see you. And you know, for families, blended families, you know, when you have children involved, you know, they share the same space, you know, they develop their identity, you know, and all of that. Now, what plays out really in terms of you know, finding their own spaces when you talk about identity, you know, and all of that? How difficult can it be for them?
Okay.
Interacting in that
in
circumstances,
the blended family space. Oh, okay. Oh well, children will be children. Children are sweet. They are loving, especially when you create a very loving environment. So for blended families, you already have a challenge because this person is from the mom and this person is from the dad, and sometimes even like the last couple that we're talking said she had other children she was taking care of, and then this happened and all that. So I think forming their identity, they would need to be given time, right, to come to the point where they, I don't know what you mean by identity. Is it their own identity or taking the identity of these new parents?
It's talking about the new reality that they find themselves. Yes.
Oh yeah, they need enough time. They need enough support. They need enough space to be able to come to terms, because somewhere in their mind they are feeling like, oh, I'm going to disappoint my dad or my mom who is no longer here, whether the person is alive or dead. So they feel that sense of betrayal if they give. That's why you see some children, they enter into a blended space and then they say they are stubborn, they are naughty. No, they are not. They are just trying to understand what's going on. They are just trying to understand their new reality. So they need, when they are forming this identity, they need a very supportive space, and and the couple must create that supportive space. No favoritism, nothing like, oh, this is your mom. There should not be difference. It's not easy though, but it's doable. Just create that space. Make them feel welcome. Make them feel loved. Make them feel part of the family. Don't sometimes women will want to, this is my new husband, please don't come in, don't do this, don't do this. The women are also trying to create their own identity and trying to stick to their new identity. So it plays out in that way, where especially for women, I'm saying that because women are more emotional in nature, and then so they want to protect that space. Before you know it, it starts rubbing off on the children the wrong way. So it's important that the space is created, safe space is created for the children to thrive in the new blended family. Eventually they will. No child sees a loving space or a loving family and want to run away now. No. Yeah.
Okay, I was going to go to them, but again, I just wanted to follow up with this question. Do you think that couples that are planning to blend families together need therapy? They need a form of counseling to know that this journey you're undertaking, these are some of the things you might have to encounter. This is how you have to bring children in, because we hear so many stories of people loving each other and then being nasty to the kids. What is the place of therapy in a blended family to be? Yes, a system.
Okay,
yes.
so therapy plays a very huge role.
Okay.
Because you don't talk about blended family without healing. There's no blended family without healing. If there's a blended family without healing, you see a family that is disoriented. You see a family that is not organized. You see a family that have some sort of chasm. So what is the situation? What brought you? Is it the loss of a loved one? Is it divorce? Is it, it could be anything, single parenting and all that. So the person, the couple will definitely need to heal individually, not even a couple's counseling. No, go and heal individually. Be sure that you're emotionally stable enough to go into the journey of a romantic relationship. And then when you have healed, then think about, I'm going into a new relationship. It means that I might not be going into a relationship that is, the man is single or the woman is single. So what if she has kids? So these are the things that plays in your mind that you need to talk to someone about. There needs to be counseling. And then when you finish your individual journey of healing, then the two of you can come together and heal. Work together and heal. And bring your children together into that space for the healing, because you can heal all you want, but your children are hurting, and you just find that you are not moving forward because the children are still hurting. They're still missing their dad or missing their mom or missing the old family. The family system is one that is very complete. Father, mother, and children. That's how they have it. So when they are born into that circle, that space, father, mother, and children, and all of a sudden there's a new daddy, there's a new mommy. They
children will have to go through. But when you talk about, you two are living experience of all of this, and I know you had your own process and all of that. But when we talk about discipline, you have your own method, he has his own method. How do you ensure that discipline is maintained, fairness is maintained in a blended family? I want you to share with us your experience.
Just as you had asked, how was I able to bring her close to me? Before we got married, there was a night I told him I wanted her over.
His daughter now?
His daughter came. So we had a session throughout the night. We prayed. We spoke at length, and I told them, this is what we are about to do. We want to get together. If you have any question, let's know.
Wow.
And then I remembered my son said, will he be able to take us as his sons? Will he treat us as his sons? And I said, yes. We will try our best. Though we are human, But we are going to try our best to see if we can love you equally.
Yes.
And then already in my house, I had a rule. There's a rule I have made. We had pasted it in the room. Then that night we tore it and said, now it's going to be the Chuangs.
Wow.
Then it was the Jonathans. And then we had those rules. If you do this, I will flog you and I'll tell you, go back to the rule. You go and, which one did you violate? And will tell me this is the rule I have violated. So I had to co-op her into it. This is what we do in this house. So do we agree to destroy it? And they said yes. We destroyed it. And then we are going to form another one. We did it together. If you do this, you will be punished. If you do this, you'll be flogged. How many strokes? They will say it, I will write it, and we'll laugh. We did that together. And I told her, I will love her. I will love you like your mommy. And I did that because the golden rule in the Bible says, do unto others as you will want them to do to you. If I were in that shoes, that it was me that died, what would I have wanted my children to go through? And that is the plain truth. That is why in my heart I had promised she will not see tears again. She will not go through humiliation. I will love her. I will treat her as I gave birth to her. In fact, that night, I had to everybody had sucked my breast. It is now your turn to suck my breast.
Oh, wow.
That is what happened.
Oh, goodness.
And then I opened my breast for her and I said, come. And she came. She sucked my breast. I said, now, because I wouldn't want to say, I gave birth to you, you suck my breast and you're not included.
Yeah.
I want to say, all of you gave birth to me, and if I pray and I say you took my breast, let it be that you are included.
Is this a metaphoric, conversation or you practically allow her to suck her breast?
I did it. Practically.
This is emotional and it's spiritual too. Yeah.
I did it because I also saw myself that I would have been the person who died. And if I had died, what would happen to my children? So let me give her a chance to have a mommy in me. And I will do it with the whole of my life, and I did it. Because I asked for wisdom from God, and God gave it to me. And that is how we have been living. She loves me so much, and I love her.
Mr. Chuang, we men, the way we process things are quite different from women sometimes. Let's share your experience.
All right. When it comes to children, I have told you I love children, and my daughter, even before I got married, she said, I technically asked her a question. She asked me that she needs a mother. Oh. She asked me, I don't know whether somebody asked her to ask me that question. I said, really, you need a mother? She said, yes. I said, who do you want to be your mother? Before we started. And we're in the church and she mentioned her.
Wow.
She mentioned her.
Are you sure somebody didn't whisper into her ears?
She's very young.
Interesting.
So
that's good.
And it's like things are just going on smoothly. People around us, everybody is just seeing for us.
That means she must have seen some
I think why she said that, they are the friends with my daughter. They are of the same age. I'm sure they are in the same Sunday school class.
Yes, and she likes you. And she must have loved you for her to suggest you for her father. Wow. Well, I know how daughters love their fathers.
Yes.
Interesting.
So that is how it started, and I was so skeptical, as men. There's something that always affects men, and I want to advise widowers.
Widowers, please do.
When you see a widower not getting married or not interested in marriage, families, friends should find out. He must have been in depression. Trauma, he may be traumatized. I never knew I was traumatized until I went for a trauma healing school. Then I knew that something was wrong. You just be holding it as an African man, as a strong man, you're just there and you're not doing anything. 4 years was just like yesterday to me.
Oh my God.
Until after that trauma, the trauma healing school, then I understood that I need to go ahead. And that was how I came out and started seeing what I would do. And I was getting close to her.
The way you smiled and said it.
So that was how we got together. So when it comes to the kids, we together, we put the kids on one side.
Yes, and both of you.
We are here.
Yes.
We scold them together. When I start, she supports me. And when she starts, I back her.
Yes.
So we show no difference. As far as we are concerned, you are kids, we are parents. And something that also helps us much is we try as much as possible to avoid flashbacks. You know, flashbacks always affect families.
My goodness.
So when there's a little problem and we are seeing it, we have advised ourselves to avoid flashbacks. Nobody is perfect.
You know, this is very important, of course, when you talk about the therapy session you had, and I know from experience, not many Nigerians, you know, like this because they feel that why should I spend money to go for a session that I really don't need because they feel, some will say, I'm a man. Why should?
But they're hurting inside. They are bleeding inside. They are bleeding.
But we will continue on that path after we must have taken this break. Let's go on a break.
TerraCube, unwrap joy, unleash taste.
NTA Television College refills JOS, a media hub with the pedigree of training professionals and non-professionals in the field of broadcasting and beyond, invites aspiring broadcasters to register for our short courses for the second quarter of 2026. From 13th April to 10th July 2026, the training will commence as follows. New technologies, optic fiber, IP technologies, automation storage management and wireless technology. Foundation understanding of tax reform and practical application of reform strategies. Intermediate presentation techniques. Administration, a frontier of organizational success. Basic camera operation, audio engineering operation and maintenance, digital satellite, microwave and RF technologies, AI marketing, intermediate drama techniques. These courses are designed to equip participants with practical, market-ready skills in a competitive environment. The college also runs diploma and degree courses. For registration details, course schedule and more information, visit our website at www.ntatvc.edu.ng or call these following numbers: 0803-838-4343, 0806-980-9897. NTA TV College, your gateway to media excellence. Announcer Management.
Savannah to the Sahara, we rise, a land of the free, we know they tire. We dream great, our spirit is undying.
Resilient, rooted like palm tree, we sway in colors, we turn dark into light, we make solutions, we ignite passion, yeah. Ethnicity is unique, we are more than just a nation.
We are Nigeria, strengthening unity. We know they carry lives. We are Nigeria, together live the dream of a land with great destiny. We are Nigeria.
I am the real Nigerian. Brought to you by the National Orientation Agency, NOA.
The control center for feeling kind of pleasure, a special kind of loving, the man with love and understanding. Come rain, come shining, eh. People started to say that she wants more than a Mr. Right, but all that she wants was a man that sees a light. That just is a fool for being appetite, but all that she wants a good love, not be fight. This kind of girl, they have to come by. This kind of girl, I want to make my wife. You're the one girl, say no more. Don't care about what those people say, cause I say every time when I look into your eyes, I see fire in there, fire. And even look into my eyes, I see desire in there, desire. Now if this love is a crime, I'm ready to be wanted. Oh, if this love is a crime, I'm ready to be wanted. I got a lot of respect for you, cause the guy is sorry. It's kind of hard to remind you, but I know you out there. Girl, if this love is a crime, I'm ready to be wanted. Hey, if this love is a crime, I'm ready to be wanted. She said to me, do you wanna be the last man standing? She said to me, do you wanna be the one I call complimenting? Oh baby, girl, I wanna be your beginning and your ending. Oh, I wanna be the holy one that you be sending. I can't believe it's still your virgin love. A lot of guys have been up to her, but there was no compromise. Yeah. She be strong, she be keeping herself until the day of our wedding. Under the right ceiling, alright, with the right person. A person desiring, a person kind of loving. Every time when I look into your eyes, there's a fire in there, fire. And even look into my eyes, I see desire in there, desire. Girl, if this love is a crime, I'm ready to be wanted. Oh, if this love is a crime, I'm ready to be wanted. Oh yeah, I got a lot of respect for you, cause the guy is sorry. It's kind of hard to remind you, but I know you were out there. Girl, if this love was a crime, I'm ready to be wanted. Oh, if this love is a crime, I'm ready to be wanted. So keep this fire burning. Keep this fire burning, fire burn. Baby, keep this fire burning, fire burning. Keep this fire burning, fire burning. Yeah. Oh, oh, chicken, yeah. Oh, keep it burning. Keep this fire burning. Keep this fire burning. Hey, oh, alright. Okay, see, let's go. Oh, yeah, Zaro come Maria. Hey, Rio come Maria. You are the one for me, I'm the one for you. From Rio come, hey, Zaro come Maria. Rio come Maria. You are the one for me, I'm the one for you. From Rio come, hey. Mama want me to marry. Make I give a picking to carry. Hey, I been a rush to marry, mama. Wait, make a find wood to marry. Mama say make a marry Urobo, or make a marry Isoko. Show that she go tell him say Yanze. She go be sabi my language. Hey, I'm waiting for the one that will love and that will love me. Mama son, you've not only the language. I want marry Maria family, and I gotta try to teach them the language. And I know she go happy to learn it. Hey, I'm waiting for the one that will love and that will love me. So tell I pray every day and night to you. I'm calling on the Father. So tell I don't go east, west, north, and south to you. I'm checking for the right one. You see me, I pray, mommy, still the water. She can't wait for a long time, yeah. Oh, hey. I say, Zaro come Maria, yeah. Rio come Maria. You are the one for me, I'm the one for you. For Rio come, hey. Zaro come Maria, oh Rio come Maria. You are the one for me, I'm the one for you. For Rio come, hey. See. That's what made them say love is blind, oh. Checking out the stories around you. And maybe she go Phoebe a free band, or maybe she go Phoebe a widow. Say, yeah, mama feel love, the one you know it love. It's just like that, yeah. Primitive na somebody wife, oh. Talkative na somebody sweetheart. Lazy again na somebody darling, and the again na somebody honey, oh. One man's food is another man's poison, hey. So tell I pray every day and night to you, calling on the Father. Oh, yeah.
Thank you so much, TJ. Thank you so much, TJ. Some of your messages are coming in, and someone says, I am tearing up here listening to the couple on Blended Family. Yemi Shudimu. Thank you so much. Another person says, hey. Oh my God, this is so emotional. Thank God I did not miss this, and I wish every Nigerian is watching this show. That's why we keep saying, call your friends and family to sit with you. It's the deal that everybody goes away from loaded. Nobody goes empty, and you don't even need your checkbook for. Okay. A family is everything, and if you get families right, Nigeria will be great again. You didn't tell us your name. This is a comment and there is no name. We need to know your names and then call your names as you write us your messages. We continue with our conversation. Nigerians are reacting. They are getting it and they are loving it. Now, somebody at the very beginning, your courtship, was it like, what was your courtship like at the beginning with Mr. Nyam?
Okay. Just like he said, we had been in the church. Our courtship was knowing the Lord more. He comes, he gives the children time, and that is probably why he even stole their heart. When he comes, he speaks with them, he jokes with them, he asks them questions from school, and then they got to know that this guy loves them.
So from his courtship, he had already involved the kids.
Yes.
I needed that to come out. Are you okay?
Even from the courtship. The courtship was more of them.
Oh, yeah.
We meet in church, he comes, he sees them, he buys gifts for them, they talk, let's go out, let's do this, and they go. It was even them at their own space that told me, Mommy, we like him, marry him for us.
Wow. I don't expect anything less when you're dealing with an intentional man.
Who knows what he wants?
Exactly. All right, let's come back to you, Eunice. You're talking to us now from a psychological point of view. When one partner is filled with guilt, especially after loss. Sometimes you find it very difficult to move on because you don't know if you're ready to move on. Secondly, you don't know what the society would think about that. So sometimes there's a level of guilt that is so deep in you that you don't want to move on. How can people cross that hurdle?
The first thing to cross that hurdle is heal. Heal. And you're not healing because of who cares what anybody has to say.
Exactly.
This is your story, this is your experience. The person who is caring, the person who is saying is the person in your shoes. Is the person wearing the shoes. It's he that wears the shoes, no way it stings, or pinches. So it's not about what anyone has to say, what the society, because the society will talk. You are widowed, for instance, you're a widow. The society will complain, she killed her husband. You then decide to remarry. Oh, she couldn't even mourn the man, or he couldn't mourn the woman. So if I can go on and on. If it comes to what the society has to say, it's irrelevant.
It's even more with the divorce cases. Because with the divorce cases, the person is alive.
You couldn't keep a man.
You couldn't keep a man.
You couldn't keep a woman.
So from what you're saying, it's like the burden is more on the woman. No,
not necessarily. In what way? The burden is on both parties because they will claim that the man killed the woman too. Or the man couldn't keep a home and he's divorced. Do you understand? So for me, I would advise anybody in wearing that shoe, heal.
Okay, so when we say heal, let's unpack heal.
Okay.
Let's unpack what healing is. What is the process of healing? For example, I'm going to start this rolling just in my own layman way.
Okay.
Is it first accepting that, okay, this thing is, if it's a divorce, okay, this marriage is ended, this is my own part, this is his own part, or this person has passed on. What is the process of healing? Let's even unpack healing.
Healing is accepting your reality.
Exactly. Okay.
Yeah. The reality before you then move on.
Accepting that this has
accepting
happened.
that there's a loss is difficult. Trust me. You know, grieving has different phases
Yes, true.
to it. So when you get to that point where you can now accept, okay, this is my reality. What next?
What next?
Then you know you have healed. Or at least, you know, when we say heal, there's no complete 100% healing.
True.
Like he said, where you don't do your flashback, you don't go back to this person
that was
used to.
intentional, yes.
This person used to. Honestly, there are times where in your heart of hearts, you have that conversation with yourself. You think about it, especially you're humans. So he will make a mistake, she will make a mistake. You would relive the past, especially when you met this person you married when you were young. So you spent a little part of your youth with that person, and then all of a sudden maybe divorce or death took it away. There will be times where you genuinely think back, what if this man remained, or what if this woman remained? What if I was still in a relationship with this fellow who is now out of my life as a result of divorce or death? You know, what if I married this person for single parents? What if I married this person I had a child with? You know, what if?
Yes,
so there is that conversation that happens in your mind, but it should not, like he said, it should not be allowed to seep into your new relationship. Accept your reality. It is now your reality that this person is no longer in the picture. This person is dead. Now there's somebody coming. And for their case, I think their kids made it a bit easier for them, because the daughter is saying, I want a new mommy, and my new mommy should be Mrs. Somebody. So that Mrs. Somebody played her role without even knowing she was playing a role. Do you understand? So it was easy. In some other cases, it's not the same. The man has moved on or is trying to move on, and there's one auntie, I think it was him saying that, or was it another man that was saying that they send message, okay, wasn't him, one of the men, that you are now my husband, you know, you are now my husband, or the man sending you a message, you are now my wife. It's a tough call, you know, that kind of thing. So you when the man has now decided to say, okay, no, let me give it a try, and the children are not even aware that he's dating or she's dating, that's a different ball game entirely. And then later on, you want to bring the children into it. That would be the biggest mistake. That would be the biggest mistake. So you're blessed to have this kind of blending. You know, it wasn't an easy blending. I'm not going to say it was easy, but at least it was a bit seamless for you to just, because the kids were in it. I don't know the age. I think you need to also let the viewers know the age of these children, where at the point where the blending process starts, because so we don't also make people start feeling guilty. Maybe they have older children who have become adults, and you want to blend. What are you blending? Do you understand? So it's more difficult for the older children to blend into a new family than for younger children. So we have to, you know, put that into cognizance.
Okay.
Too. Yeah.
But again, other children should realize that mommy, for example, daddy is alone. He needs someone to. I think also as they matured, yes, they can be selfish.
They can be. They are.
Let us talk about the families, the friends of, because it was a community. When you were married to that Miss A, you had your friends and your community. When you were married to him, you had your friends and your community. How were you able, because another challenge is your friends accepting, how were you able to blend friends that you had made from different, when you were, or like your friends to your family at that time and his own friends? Was it easy? Did all your friends just accept? Or because we're in the same church again, it was easy?
No, the point of contention was me. It was me that had the bigger problem. Because I was the widow, and then the people from my husband's side were there. How do I confront them now? How can I tell them and convince them? I kept praying still. And then one day, my pastor is my tribal man. Something just told me, meet this man with your problem. I didn't know. And because they had been so aggressive, yes, so very aggressive. Even what the late husband left for us, they wanted it. They want everything to themselves. They want this and that. And then I didn't know how to approach them. And when I was convinced to tell my pastor, I went met him, Reverend James Ibul, at that time. And then I told him, thank God you're a man, and you are my tribal man. I want you to help me this. And I explained all to him. This is what is happening. Yet I want to marry. I don't want to sin. But yet they don't want me to go. I should stay. And I told them, if I stay and I sin, who should I please? Is it you or God? I'd rather make man angry with me than make my God angry with me. And I left. When I told my husband, I told him then, and he said, okay, go ahead. I met the Reverend and he agreed to accompany me to my in-laws.
Wow. How was that visit?
It was tough at the first. In fact, they didn't even allow us to talk. They had to fix another day.
Hey,
normally. Because it's like we met them, they were not ready. So we should come back another day. And then the Reverend told me, don't worry. He went on praying for me. I was praying, he was praying, and the Reverend was praying too. Then we had to, the day they gave us, we went down praying. Because he will always support us, he will give us foil and he will run away. So I had to face that all alone.
Yes. You had to conquer your battle like that. That was very, he supported you from here. That was really good.
But the good thing is, it's not that he allowed you to fight the battle alone.
He was
might
there
not be
behind.
visible there.
Yes.
But he was always
his presence can complicate things. Yes, exactly. We cannot go.
Exactly.
That was very tactical.
So we went and we spoke at length. They don't want me to go anywhere. In fact, they had arranged someone for me. At that point, they had arranged someone for me, someone that will take care of the property, someone that will marry me. The person taking care of the property.
Your feeling does not matter. What is women's feelings never matter in this thing.
The person that will take care of my property different. The person that will marry me different. Two people.
Okay. MD and deputy.
Yes. And I told him no. Thank God I was with the man of God, and he is my tribal man who knows
the tradition.
The tradition.
And the good thing is the fact that you are educated. That is very important.
Yes.
Now, how many people are able to come out of this way successfully the way you have been? Because one, they don't even know their rights. They believe that everything the family does is they are doing it in their own interest. And even if they have some, reservations for that, similar and good arrangement that they feel. But I know that in a modern era today, things tend to be different. But let's just take this next story, which is coming from Bauchi, to look at the modern dynamics when we talk about blended families.
Imagine a unit that is meant to be the foundation of the society. But what happens when the blueprint changes? The traditional nuclear family is evolving and modern dynamics are reshaping the way we live, love and define families. Today, blended families are rewriting the rules from single parents, remarried couples to step-siblings. The modern family is diverse, but how do they balance tradition and new realities?
We are into blended families, whereby a divorcee who has children outside come into a new home with these children. Husband kind of accommodate them with his own family, that is his first wife, and they are living amicably well. And we call this, the children call this their father, stepfather. And the father called them my stepchildren. And they are living well. And the factor in that is there's love. We have, the love has a good role to play in this scenario.
Faith and community support play a big role too, as many turn to their religious communities for help, navigating complexities.
By this, one can give his own assistance to his partner
maybe the wife has another children from some other husband, and the husband has another children from another wife, then they should put head together and give assistance to groom their own children.
Co-parenting and communication are crucial as it redefines what family means.
Even the Bible encourages loving one another, the family of the relation of your wife and your own relation, bringing them together. I said that one is very important because it fosters relationship even in the society. You live together as one. Because in marriage there is always emphasis on oneness. So when you talk of oneness, it means bringing everybody together, seeing one another as brothers and sisters, and loving one another.
Blended families show love isn't bound by traditions. In Nigeria's evolving landscape, blended by love is the new normal. It's about embracing new beginning together.
They say second time sometimes can be the charm, not the third time. You do the second time and it's even sweeter and better. Now, was it last week we had an amazing event in NTA where our director news gave our beautiful daughter out. We'll be bringing that to you soon, but let's have a little still conversation about this, because even I was speaking with Eunice now and said it's a whole lot when it comes to other people accepting what you have accepted. Okay. You know, like a relative coming home and then reminding you or him that the father never used to treat him like, why treat him like this? Why are you treating this child like this? Yeah. How do you deal with extended family interference to your method? Let's say an old aunt, an old uncle, how? Or you don't have that challenge in your own situation?
When we got married newly, we had a little with the children in the house. Sometimes they would draw her, tell her some things, and then she comes back and she's foaming. And then I called her one day. I said, come. We went inside and I told her, do you think they love you more than I do? I told her, have I ever done anything to which haunt you? Do I love you or not? And she told me she loved me. And I told her, between man and God, it's only me that love you. If anything happens to even your daddy, I won't let you go. That is how much I love you. When I said that to her, she broke into tears. Then she was around 9, 10. She broke into tears and she told me she's sorry. I said, confide in me. I am the only mother you have for now. The only one that can keep your secret. Love you the way a mother should. And that was the end of it. Nothing happens, she doesn't tell me. Nothing happens, she doesn't come, mommy. In fact, we gossip my husband, they gossip me and my husband. That is how it has been.
Would you say that both of you have a child together now?
Yes, we have a child now.
Oh, yes.
She's 2 years.
Oh. And how are the other siblings relating to her?
Oh, they like her so much. Oh. They like her so much.
She's the queen of the house.
She's the queen, of course.
Yes. Ross, everybody.
Everybody. Oh, that's beautiful. I didn't do that for people to know that, yes, God also blessed both of you with a child that it's today the queen of the house. Yes. Eunice, and then before we actually go there, Eunice, what advice do you have for women who are not ready to do the work, or even men who are not ready to do the work, but they want the marriage? Yes, there's so many, there are so many things we hear and see on the internet. I mean, that's why we have the wicked stepmother and wicked stepfather, although mother more. What advice would you have for women who want, yes, I want to get married after this situation, but they're not even ready to accept the children that are in that space already before she got there?
Then remain single.
Good. Please say it again, say it again, say it again.
Yeah, if you don't want to do the work, then remain single. Exactly. Because there's no way you marry someone who has children and you seclude your own self or your children from the others. No, there's no chance for that. It's called a blended family because it's supposed to be a blended family. So if you're not willing to do the work, if you're not willing to unite the family, if you're not willing to remove any. People should look at your family and not know who is different. People should, because after a while, I don't know how this happened. I don't know the science behind it. Don't quote me. When after a while you see a man and a woman, they begin to look alike. They are getting there.
Yes, yes.
They begin to look alike. So somehow the children, and so there, it's difficult to is this one? You will not even know that this is her own children. Or so you have to be willing to blend so well that people don't know the difference between your own biological children and the blended family children. Okay. It has to be your spouse's children. They have to be so blended that they are united, and the work is on the woman anyway.
Exactly.
So
the work is on the woman, because the duty of the woman to ensure that the family is well integrated, of course with the support of the strong man who is intentional. Now let's, like we said, Halima Musa, our director news MFR, it gave her beautiful daughter away in marriage, and the NTA family represented. You know how we do it in NTA now, we're a family. Let's see the event.
This is one of the most precious days of a mother's life. She was in my beginning, when you let
What has always been prayed for has been achieved, that God has given you a child who you nursed until maturity, and then they go forth to start their own lives. But then the separation as well, you know how mothers are, especially with daughters. But it's okay. I'm very happy for her, and I pray for her to have a peaceful home, and I pray for all that is good.
His beloved mother, his best teacher, his best love, his nurturer, his...
Thank God. I'm very happy. I'm very happy. Allah bless the man.
Beautiful and sweet. I never knew you were the someone waiting for me. 'Cause we were just kids when we fell in love. Not knowing what it was, I will not give you up this time. Darling, just kiss me slow. Your heart is so large.
To explain how I feel. But the only thing I'm going to say is that I thank God that I see today, and I hope and pray that this union will be everlasting. Everybody that comes here, thank you very much.
Met on social media and I was attracted by his kindness. From friendship, one thing led to another, and here we are.
Getting to know her, I realized how kind she is, how God-fearing and religious she is, and we had chemistry. We really understand each other. For a while, we've been together for I think 4 years.
be here to support Mariam and her husband as they tie the knot and become one. So I'm just happy to be here, just to be a part of this. Their union will exceed their expectations.
I think I want to marry again.
Hey, so then number 2. So after singing for your wife yesterday,
This is so beautiful.
After singing for your wife yesterday,
done. And trust me, Ishak and Mariam, we're wishing you a happy married life. And it's good to see that the NTA family is well represented.
Yeah, that's where we go. That's the way we roll.
Trust me, this is so beautiful.
Yes, and my EDP was there, just my EDP, looking all elegant. And I'm sure you could see that she was just happy to be there. Honestly, she didn't say much because she's a woman. She wants to speak. She speaks. Just say, I'm just happy to be there. And I thought that was really remarkable. Before you take your papers, Sanyam said he wanted to say something quickly, so please let's hear him.
Yeah, thank you. I want to talk a little about blending. You know, after we went to the village with our reverend, they gave her the consent and acceptance, and from there the blending starts, because we got married, they were there, and then it's interesting to know that we have two in-laws now. She have 2 in-laws, I have 2. So after they have given her the consent, they supported us. During the wedding, they supported us very well. After the wedding, they brought money and food. They were very, very supportive. You know, sometimes things like that, a woman, definitely in-laws, they want to protect. You know, give us some sense of protection or protect their own kids, whatever. So after the blessings and everything, we started blending. My own part, my first in-laws, they were very, very supportive. They were kind. In fact, one of them in Abuja here came to my house and said, "What is wrong with you? Will you not marry?" I said, "I will marry." So go ahead and marry. For the sake of the daughter, marry. Give her a mother. You know, these things you see, they are not just as easy as you say.
Yes.
But we blended both families, both in-laws. We blended. When she came in, she blended with my family, with my brothers. Everybody loved her, and so also my acceptance in her own place. So the blending is very, very important. Without the blending, you will not have peace.
Yes.
You cannot even go there.
Yes.
When our first daughter graduated, they came. All right, they supported. So the second one too. The second child graduated, or our second child graduated as a male. They all came, and my family came. Everybody came. They were supporting us in the church. In fact, everybody supports you. When you have that support, you move smoothly. All right. Challenges will come, definitely. There are people that you may not even know, but just the blending and the way you are taking things easy makes it right. And our wedding was so. It was just all about trusting God. Trust. And that is why we name our daughter Teye. Teye means trust. Trust in who? Trust in God. So with that, life goes on.
Let me quickly add, because you see, when you talk about family support and trust, when we're discussing this topic, I'm letting something out of the bag. My own boss, who is the director of programs, Pam Nyam, your big brother, quickly said, you could see the love and trust. He said, I have a brother who is doing so amazing well with the brother. He said it in a meeting, and I can assure you that Mr. Pam, I'm sure he's watching. He's not a very emotional man. He's not a very emotional man. That's sorry, no vex. He's not a very emotional man, but we could see that he loved this family. He sees something in this family, and he quickly said, we can invite him to give us experience, and here you are today. So you're doing something good, and we say we appreciate you. Thank you. God bless your family.
And you know, even in NTA, for me, NTA is a family, a blended
family, right? They're all blended. You are right. You are right. You are blending.
All right, let's go straight to the papers, and we're starting with Sunday Sun. All right, so we'll head straight to the leading story. Aftermath of convention, ADC still at crossroads. It has some riders here, legal hurdles, internal revolts, others threatening parties' chances ahead of 2027. APC INEC presidency's action against opposition parties may lead to anarchy. This is coming from Okore Shele. ADC caused the own crisis, blaming Tinubu courts. INEC nonsensical. This is coming from Abayami, and all this can be found on pages 18 and 19. Now, below that, we have Benue kidnap. Police arrest 7 suspects in joint security operation. Kidnapped Benue travelers, not UTME candidates, says JAM. Details of this can be found on page 27. Now to the next paper, that is Sunday Sun. Sunday Punch, I beg your pardon. Anyao explosion battles, zonal leaders plot PDP takeover, legal tussle threatens a Wike-led party structure. We are ready to end this crisis, zonal chairman and analyst. One explosion will nullify key decisions. Details of this can be found on page 3. And that's the only headline we can take from Sunday Punch. We move to The Nation. We start with the story just above the masthead. Federal government bans importation of frozen poultry, cement, detergent, others, paracetamol, among and other medicines also affected. Details of that on page 5. Bala Mohammed ends the APC defection talks over power sharing formula. Details of this can be found on page 6. Now to the leading story. 2027 anxiety as parties aspirants intensify consultations on nomination. Binani Group dumps Adamawa ADC, blast national leadership. Deputy Senate President gets opponent in Kano North. Okowa Nwoko set for Delta North APC showdown. Now the picture story there, you have different pictures of political heavyweights in our political cycle in Nigeria. States of the parties. Part 2, obviously we had part 1 some days back. Details of this can be found on page 17. Okay, let's take one more story from here. Iran reimposes restriction in the Straits of Hormuz. The details of that are on page 2. We are hoping that this crisis going on, or rather this war in Iran, will come to an end, because it's having global impact, which is really not favorable to anyone, especially economically speaking. And as well, we know that lives have been lost in the process. Sunday Telegraph. Resignation, how Tuga left Foreign Affairs Ministry in frustration. Diplomat, he wants to run for Bauchi governorship, says presidency. Ex-ambassador may return to private business. Details of that are on page 3. NAS high turnover, 14 senators opt out over global ambitions. Appointment, political realignment, defections threaten others. Long-serving reps face battle to retain seats. Now to Sunday Tribune. Revealed how criminals use cleanup to steal crude oil. Navy intensifies crackdown on oil thieves. Uncovers 600 million naira illegal network. Details of that on pages 5 and 30. Well, that is much we can take from the papers. Right now, we take sports.
He used to say that the sport of squash is his life. Of course, the family suffered at some point because of this. More attention to the sport than the family. The story of Boye Oyeride, now one-time president of the Sports Federation of Nigeria. He had an opportunity to do a third term. Why didn't he take it? This and so much more we'll be sharing with us on this edition of the show. My name is Godwin Enakna. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for staying with us. I did say we are Boye Oyeride, one-time president, Sports Federation of Nigeria. Boye, good morning to you. Thank you for joining us on this edition of Sports Summit on Weekend Deal.
Thank you, Godwin. Always good to be here. I remember when we started this journey some 9 years ago. Now it's over and we're here. And you've been with us throughout that journey. And your support has been quite amazing. So always good to be here, Godwin. Thank you.
Now, you had the privilege, you can call it an opportunity, of doing a third term. Your constitution allows that. Why didn't you?
Well, I was taught to always leave the stage when the ovation is loudest, and I think it's time to bring in fresh hands with new ideas, new innovations to take this journey forward with Nigeria Sports Federation. There are those who are very eager to work on this, and I think it's time to give them the chance to do that, and I just wish them the very best as they take on this journey.
What do you miss? What don't you miss as one-time president, Sports Federation of Nigeria?
Sometimes I do miss the energy that comes with trying to think of what next to do, how can we improve on what we have done. Sometimes I do miss that. What I really do not miss, though, is the hours and hours of phone calls. You have calls from everybody attending to things you can't even imagine, that perhaps sometimes things that have nothing to do with the game of squash.
What was your wife's reaction when you told her that you're done with squash?
Well, one interesting thing is my wife has always been an advocate of what is going to happen when you leave, how do you ensure continuity and all that. But I'm sure she'll be really happy, though, that I don't spend so many hours on the phone talking to one person or the other. Early in the morning, squash, late at night, squash. During the days, even in the office, it's always squash. So I'm sure she's happy that has come to an end.
The big question will be, what next for Boye Oyeride, one-time president, Sports Federation of Nigeria?
I'm back to work. I'm back to doing what I do on a daily basis, and yeah, that's really what it is. It's nice to be back at work fully and not half and half squash and work.
Boye, thank you so very much for being part of the show, and I appreciate your time with us.
Thank you very much, Godwin. I must really appreciate your support over the years. I mean, from the very beginning, you've always given us that visibility through your platform. We come on air to discuss what we're doing, and it's really helped us. We're now a permanent sport at the National Sports Festival, and that's unprecedented, considering that when we started, squash was considered a lesser sport. So, thank you.
That's about the size of the show. Sports Summit on Weekend Deal. My name is Godwin Enakena. Don't forget to keep praying for Nigeria. God bless Nigeria.
It's not about just living under the same roof. It's about blending our hearts, emotions, values, and expectations. At this point, we'll ask for your final words, and I'll start with Sister Eunice.
Okay, thank you so much. And as you give us your final words, just also blend in the fact that people should know if they want to engage, this experience.
Okay, so if you want to engage in the experience of their brother's wife or their brother's or their sister's husband, so it's a general form of healing. And then for the parties that are going into the real blended family, when you have worked on your healing, learn to there are certain expectations you shouldn't have about each other. What you had from the last one is not what you're expecting from this. Just be open to new things, to new ideas, to the new person involved. Don't be stuck in the past by trying to hold on to the beauty or the roughness. Some people have missed out on what they have now based on the abuse, because we're talking about it is beautiful now and all that, but there are people who actually went through abuse in their previous marriage and they're still dealing with the trauma. So even when the person has healed, sometimes that trauma may resurface when any little thing happens. So it boils down again to the same healing. So when you heal, then before you attempt to deal,
avoid flashbacks.
Exactly.
Flashbacks. That's one thing I took away from here. Flashbacks.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's start with you.
Okay. If you are a widow, you need to trust God. Do know that God loves you. God is faithful. Just as Proverbs chapter 3, verse 5 to 6 will say, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him and he will make your path straight. Just trust in the Lord and he will make your path straight.
Christian, you're a pastor.
Man of God.
All right, good to you. My advice will go to the widowers, no? Fear, definitely there's going to be fear. But take a step. Get out. It's not good for a man to be alone. You need a companion. You need a friend. You don't have to be alone, stay outside till 12, then sleep till morning. Just you need a companion, come home, you have somebody to chat with and to discuss with. And any man that is feeling bad about something, please ask for counseling. I'm also trying to send a message to NGOs, churches, mosques, organizations to look out for widowers. Widowers are suffering. Quietly because they are men. Please help men out of this trouble.
Because there are so many widow groups.
There are so many widow. I don't know about that, but from my own experience, I've stayed 4 years before I got out of it. So if you are burning in pains, in sorrow, or in fear of maybe you don't want to, you cannot stay alone. It's very, very bad. Thank you very much.
I want to add something about what he just said. Please, I would like to advise the society to allow men cry.
Exactly.
Please, allow men. We're not talking about parenting now, so I won't go into that aspect of it. Allow men cry. It's okay, you're a man. Please cry. Feel. Allow yourself to feel the pain. Allow yourself to, acknowledge that you are hurting. When you hurt, you cry, you are sad. Allow yourself to feel. The society, please, let us allow men to be humans. We somehow want to make these people feel like they are superhumans. No, they're still the same blood that flows in you, flowing in them. And then for the advocacy you're talking about, NGOs should come out, the church, the mosque, and everybody. And you too, sir, you can start up something by advocating for fellow men.
We're running out. Thank you so much. We're running out of time. I have this message I want to take.
Quickly.
So Weekend Deal. This is the best program ever. Blended family. This is what my father is supposed to do, but he refused to do that. He got married to a wicked witch.
We talked about that.
That turned his eyes away from us, and I regret. The woman is so wicked. Okay, don't worry. God. Good day, guys. Happy Sunday. I love the show. So amazing. God bless you all. Dennis Gilbert from Lagos. Okay, more messages. I can't take it all. Thank you so much we don't take your messages for granted. We are here because of you. But at the end of the day, I'll close by saying that at the end of the day, family is not all about blood. It's about commitment, connection, and care. We love you.
And we can all dance to a blended family possibilities. Ifama, I want to marry you. Give me your love. Oh! Give me your love. Give me your love. Yeah. Give me your love. Oh.
let me know, let me know, let me know you're mine. Let me know, let me know, let me know, let me know, let me know you're mine. Ifama, 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 I want to marry you. Give me your love. Oh, give me your love. Give me your love. Give me your love. Yeah, come on. Yeah. Hey. Hey. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Come on. I want to marry you. Oh, oh, baby, I'm serious. Yeah. I want to marry you. Oh, oh, baby, I'm serious. I don't wanna mess around. I don't wanna play no games. I don't wanna try no more. I wanna settle down. Give me your love.
Hey, let's spread the love.
Give me your love. Yeah. Give me your love. Give me your love. Ifama, 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 Ifama. Hey, let's go. Come on. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Let's go. Say, you are my sweetie, my sugar, my baby, my lover. So honey, let me love you, let me hold you forever. Oh yes, 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 oh yes. You are my sweetie, you say my sugar, my baby, my lover. So honey, let me love you, let me hold you forever. Oh yes, hey, oh yes, oh yes, yeah? Oh yes, oh yes, look, oh yes, come on, oh yes, come on, oh yes, one time, yeah, come, yeah, 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 like a this, and like a that, like a this, and like a that, like a this, and like a that, like a this, like a that, like a this, and like a this, and like a that. We can deal.
Well, hello. It is great to be back with you again on Lens on Africa.
Let's zoom our lens on its political history at this moment.
Algeria did not have a centralized political structure prior to its colonization by France.
It is now time for our weekly roundoff of African history. Welcome to the interview segment on Lens on Africa.
Examines its relevance, the pathways to achieving it.
To sustain productivity, there must be continuity.
Where the winds whisper secret, to the sands lies the forgotten kingdom of Damat.
It is on this note that we conclude Lens on Africa today.
Thank you for spending your time with us.
From dusk to dawn, 24 hours a day, NTA International is with you in your living room, office, everywhere and anywhere. We provide the company you desire in terms of balanced and up-to-date news, programs and the best of entertainment. Tune in to DSTV channel 251, GoTV channel. You can also see us on Facebook and YouTube for quality content on the go. NTA International, Africa's window to the world.
Hello, we're glad to have you join us. This is Platform. I'm Ruth Aguilera. Motherhood is a gift, and no woman deserves to die while given life. Now, this is why maternal health plays a critical role in shaping the future of any society. Before now, the alarming rate of maternal mortality and child mortality in Nigeria used to be overwhelming. But following interventions by the present administration, reports by the Federal Ministry of Health and Social Welfare state there's been 17% reduction in maternal death and a 12% decline in newborn death across 172 high-burden local government areas. And recently, Nigeria joined the rest of the world to mark Safe Motherhood Day with a clarion call towards ending preventable maternal and newborn death, which is no longer optional, but it is a shared responsibility and a national priority. Safe motherhood has been adopted in the country through various initiatives we've seen, like the Maternal and Neonatal Mortality Reduction Innovation and Initiative, MAMI, which is currently implemented in 32 states. MAMI focuses on improving service delivery, emergency obstetric and newborn care, and of course referral systems. Now, the federal government has reiterated its commitment to improving maternal and newborn health outcomes, stressing the need to move beyond access to ensuring quality, timely, and equitable care for women across the country. But the focus remains on strengthening healthcare access and ensuring that no woman is left behind, especially in rural and undeserved areas where medical resources can be limited. But the question is, how can this progress be sustained in the aspect of inclusive and accessible maternal health care across the country? So our focus will be on promoting safe motherhood in Nigeria, and our guest is Dr. Abdulhadi Dio Saidu. He's a consultant, obstetrician, and of course a gynecologist, and head Safe Motherhood branch from the Federal Ministry of Health and Social Welfare. Thank you very much for joining us, Dr. Saidu.
Thank you for having me, Ruth.
Good to have you here. And our panelists on platform today will be one of our health correspondents, Elizabeth Omoyi. Elizabeth, this is your first time on platform. I was so pleased to have you here.
Of course, thank you so much for having me.
Great. So, Dr. Saidu,
yes.
I know there's a lot when it comes to, when we're thinking of maternal health in Nigeria, especially with the burden, which we're seeing the decline in the numbers for Nigeria. But as a gynecologist, I'd like you to just break it down for us. When someone is thinking safe motherhood, what are the areas of concern, especially what goes on behind the scene during pregnancy and during childbirth for a woman?
All right, thank you very much. When you say safe motherhood, it entails all of those measures that are taken to ensure that a woman goes through pregnancy, childbirth, and of course in the postpartum period, healthy, with also having to have a newborn who is also healthy. So simply we can put safe motherhood at that a woman going through pregnancy, childbirth, and the postpartum period in a good state of health, including having a newborn that is healthy without any serious complications.
So we have what we call pillars of safe motherhood, which are things that entails this. Although there have been several modifications, the core to this, we have family planning.
Yeah.
If a woman is not ready to become pregnant, or her body is not ready to become pregnant, she needs to be on contraceptive, or she needs to practice family planning. And when she's ready and she's become pregnant, antenatal care is very key. This is when the pregnancy, both the mother and the baby unborn, are actually monitored to ensure that they are both healthy. And if there are challenges along the way, these are detected early, and measures are also taken. Next is care during delivery, and this is where most of the problems happen. Most complications happen during delivery, and this is very key. Interventions at this level are also very key. Then in the postpartum period is another pillar. Often we hear, oh, people are celebrating, families are celebrating their baby has been born.
What about the mother?
Exactly. So things can happen after delivery. Even the baby, things can happen after delivery. So it's also a critical period. Then we also have issues around miscarriages and abortion, which is also a major cause of maternal death. Then we have sexually transmitted diseases, including HIV. Then we have also issues that are cross-cutting. Things like maybe communication, issues around primary health care, things that maybe equity for women, including education. These are things that
Access
actually...
to information.
Yes, these are things that determine safe motherhood. So in simple terms, we can say this is what safe motherhood is all about.
Elizabeth, I'm sure you want to come in there.
Of course. I'm happy you highlighted the pillars for us and you explained them. Now let's talk about closing the gaps from coverage to care for every Nigerian woman out there, which is actually part of the national priorities. Now, would you say Nigeria has made measurable progress in helping women access these care we are talking about, from pregnancy to delivery?
Yeah, you've just mentioned the theme for Nigeria celebration of safe motherhood this year, commemoration of safe motherhood this year, which is closing the gap from coverage to quality care. You know, over the years, a lot has been done to ensure that women have access to care. However, we understand that access alone is not enough.
Okay.
The quality of the services you get actually determines who survives, because some women still get to the facility and end up dying. So that is why we are also looking at not just coverage, not just reaching to where you get care, but what is the quality of the care that you're getting. So we are also trying to, it's not that it's been neglected before, but we're also trying to come strong in the area of quality care. So that's what informed this year's theme for Safe Motherhood commemoration.
Okay, and during that commemoration, we've had the ministry come out to say there's been improved new clinical protocols. We're seeing improvement in skilled birth, especially for women in rural communities. But tracking the numbers and looking at the demand and the burden or the challenges of infrastructure in primary health care centers at those hinterlands, it has been a major gap, has been a major challenge, and also access to that universal health coverage to help women have access to emergency responses in terms of childbirth. What is the ministry doing, to close those gaps in that regard?
Yeah, thank you very much. There is what we call the delays.
Yeah.
The first delay, which has to do with the patient, her family, and the community. How quickly are they able to make decisions to go to access health? Then we have the second delay, which has to do with the transportation to reach where they will get the help. And we have the third delay, which has to do with the facility itself. When the patient gets there, how quickly are the health workers able to provide the care that they need? So when you're talking about access, what you are talking about now is how do we overcome that second delay? And this is one of the key areas that we've made significant stride in the recent years. We have what we call the National Emergency Ambulance System. It has been there for quite a while. However, there has been a revamping of that program in recent times. And again, we also have the rural component of it, which is called Rural Emergency Services and Maternal Transport, because we understand that big ambulances, vehicle ambulances may not be able to get to such areas. So we make use of what is available, such as tricycles. And we've made it in such a way that the community are well involved. We have focal persons within the ward, within the World Development Committee. When there's an emergency, when a woman is in labor, when there's complication, they call that number, and that number triage now send message to a commercial transport worker, of which pre-arrangement has been made, and that patient is transported to the nearby facility where help can come, and the government reimburses the driver. It's free.
Oh, okay.
It's free. So it has commenced, and I tell you that out of the 172 MAMI LGS, over 162 or so has been. This system is working in those local governments.
And you then respond to the part of the infrastructural gap in the primary healthcare centers.
Yes, Nigeria is a developing country, so like other developing countries, we have gaps in terms of infrastructure. However, the government is also doing a lot now to fix that. The PHC revitalization is currently ongoing, and as of today, I think over 8,000 PHCs have been revitalized, and the target is to get up to 17,000, having up to 2 PHCs per ward, and that's the target. This is a joint venture between the federal government and the states, so we are in this together both at the federal level and at the state level.
Okay. All right, let me come up with the issue of NEMSES. You mentioned rural areas where these women are. Many of them call for the ambulances and then they get there. Some in good time, some not in good time. But there's a particular issue. Let's debunk the myth. Some persons do not actually use the ambulances when they're supposed to. They do not allow themselves to be taken in an ambulance to the hospital. Why? Because it is believed that corpses are carried with the ambulance. So how do we debunk this myth around ambulances and pregnancy? Because it is believed that a new life is coming. So why should you convey a pregnant woman in an ambulance? So we need you to clear that aspect for us.
Especially what the ministry is doing to sensitize the people.
You know, we were in Africa, a lot of myth
Indeed.
is there, and again, in health sector too.
It's a lot.
A lot of them. So that's why we have a division that is saddled with that responsibility to do that. And even at that, they are not the only one doing it. Any health worker is expected to know how to debunk some of these myths and misconceptions. I think we cannot, when I was talking about pillars of safe motherhood, I talked about communication for behavioral change as one of cross-cutting issues for pillars of safe motherhood. This is very, very, very important. In the MAMI project, we have the advocacy aspect of it, which cut across so many levels. Community gatekeepers, religious leaders, traditional leaders, women group, youth group, it cut across all of this. Then even the health workers, we continue to train them on how to pass information. Even if you are working within a community, even though you're in a facility, you also have a responsibility to carry the message to the community that you serve. And again, at state level, radios, televisions, we also do that. But we think it is more effective when we go through stakeholders within the community, and that is what we are doing. And sometimes the main generator of demand is providing quality. If someone is sick and is taken with this ambulance and the person comes back healthy with her baby, I think that's enough
conviction.
Yeah, exactly, yes. Advocacy for you to know that this works. So for those who decide to stay back and something adverse happens, you may not want to do it next time.
At all.
So I think it's also upon us for us to ensure that this system works. When this system works, it will drive demand on its own because people will see the results.
Yes. Okay, I'm sorry, let me just come in there. Recently there was a ministerial briefing on safe motherhood and 6 documents were actually unveiled. I'll just read them out to you. Maternal and Newborn Product Introduction Plan, the Obstetric Clinical and Newborn Service Protocol, the Life-Saving Skills and Expanded Life-Saving Skills document, the MAMI document, and the revised antenatal care guidelines aligning with global best practices. Now, these documents, how do they work? We need you to break it down for the Nigerian woman out there.
Okay. Let me say, most of the documents, or all of the documents, the end users are the frontline health workers.
Okay.
However, there are some that are for decision makers, health managers, and all of that. Let me start with antenatal care. You know, health is a dynamic area. Medicine is a dynamic area that new evidence continue to come out. New ways of better ways of doing things continue to come out. Yeah. And that's why we continue to review our guidelines. So we just reviewed this antenatal guideline, putting together some of the new ways of making things better. And this guideline is supposed to guide health workers on how to conduct antenatal care, what services to provide. There are certain things we were doing before we thought they were good. Now evidence is telling us that those are not the best ways of doing it. There are certain things we were not doing before. Evidence is now telling us that these are good things that we can do. So those are the things that are contained in the antenatal care guideline. And there's what we call it's for positive pregnancy experience. Okay. It's part of it, meaning women have to be part of their care. The perception of the women is put in the center of this, because often we give women care and we feel we are doing the best for them, they should just accept it. Now we want the women to feel that I'm part of this.
They own it.
They own it, and they are happy that I'm part of the decision of my care. So that's one key area that is part of this antenatal care guidelines. Then the second one, we have the obstetric and newborn protocol. It's just like a reference document that has the common conditions that a pregnant woman can have, common conditions that newborn can have. It's supposed to be like a reference document there in the facility. When maybe a young doctor, a young nurse is there in the facility and is faced with a case, can quickly go and look at it and say, okay, oh, this is likely what is wrong with this person, and these are the things I'm supposed to do. That is the protocol. Then we have the LSS and the ELSS. Those ones are for management of emergencies. When you are faced with maternal emergencies or newborn emergencies, what are the things you should do? That is what those ones are covering. They have the facilitator's manual and the participant manual. Then the other one is the MNH product introduction plan. Often people or partners bring in drugs, introduce it into the country, and it is not systematic. Sometimes you see certain medications are there, in the next 1 year they are not there, because most of these things are done in pilot format. We have now said any medicine we are bringing in or want to introduce into the country for management of pregnancy-related issues or newborn, there should be a system that introduces it. This system will look at from beginning till the end. If we start this, we will be able to take it to the end. We'll be able to sustain it, so that it's not something that will come and we just we won't find it again. So how do we ensure that it gets to areas they are needed? It's not bringing it to Abuja City. Meanwhile, there are people in rural communities in Borno State who need this. So we need to look at all of this as a group, both government and partners, before we say, okay, this is how we're going to introduce these drugs. And of course, the MAMI manual is just to also guide both the federal and the state level on how they should go about in implementing MAMI. So,
and it's good that states are already picking up with the MAMI initiative. We're seeing that in 32 states.
Exactly.
So I'd like a clarification for the nationwide expansion, which is part of the improvement we're seeing. The expansion scale of the comprehensive emergency obstetric and newborn care, which provides live treatment for pregnant women going through complications even after birth. Is that been replicated? Because you just talked about not leaving it at the center, but decentralizing such initiatives. How are you equipping, or rather the ministry, how are they equipping health workers across board to ensure that they are well equipped? If these emergencies can be really comprehensive at the federal level, states level, what about rural communities?
The grassroots.
Yes. Actually, what we do here is developing policy documents, developing guidelines, SOPs. But the actual action happens at the state level.
So, to put it in a better context, is the ministry getting a feedback or the right synergy, from state governments to work hand in hand? Because they are the ones who will ensure that these health workers are equipped with the necessary tools they need to make this happen.
Okay. Maybe I'll start with, maybe at the beginning of this administration, there was signing of compact between the president and all the governors of the state. This was also midwifed by the coordinating minister of health. This is to bring about this synergy for us to agree that we have common problems, and let's come together and prioritize our problems, and that we are going to agree on A, B, C, D, that we will all do this.